The partnership between Nike, the WNBA, and the LPGA's bold move to spotlight Caitlin Clark has created a whirlwind of energy and speculation across the sports industry. At the heart of this surprising collaboration lies a narrative that is both captivating and layered with implications for women's sports. Caitlin Clark, with her jaw-dropping court presence and relentless drive, has now leaped beyond the basketball hardwood and landed in the lush, rolling greens of professional golf. It's not a place anyone thought she'd dominate, but here we are, and it's making waves bigger than a bunker shot in a sandstorm. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. The LPGA's promotion of Clark as a superstar isn't just an endorsement, it's a declaration. They're not simply nodding to her talents but planting a flag in the ground, declaring that athletic brilliance transcends the barriers of sport. Clark's ability to draw massive crowds and leave audiences wide-eyed with her precision shooting has become a currency that Nike and the WNBA, savvy players in their own right, were quick to recognize. The move isn't merely promotional. It's a strategic masterstroke aimed at intertwining the narratives of two different sports while celebrating one athlete's meteoric rise. Caitlin Clark's rise to prominence has been nothing short of extraordinary. Her ability to score from seemingly anywhere on the court has earned her comparisons to sharpshooters of old and new, but it's her confidence that truly sets her apart. She doesn't just play basketball, she owns it. Every step she takes on the court feels like a page from a story she's been writing for years, each point scored like a sentence punctuating her intent to rewrite how the game is played. Watching her effortlessly transition from sinking three-pointers to being an LPGA darling feels like watching an artist pick up a completely different medium and still paint a masterpiece. The LPGA's decision to embrace Clark wasn't made in a vacuum. Women's sports are experiencing a renaissance, and organizations are starting to realize the power of their athletes as marketable, cross-disciplinary icons. Clark's presence at an LPGA event, for instance, wasn't just about golf. It was about making a statement. She didn't need to play 18 holes to grab attention. She brought her aura, her swagger, and that trademark competitive energy. Golf enthusiasts, basketball fans, and everyone in between suddenly found themselves watching, not because of birdies or bogeys, but because Caitlin Clark was there, being Caitlin Clark. Nike, never one to miss an opportunity, amplified the moment with a level of enthusiasm that bordered on giddy. The swoosh has always had a knack for riding the waves of culture, and this was no different. By leaning into Clark's star power and pushing her presence at an LPGA event, they did more than sell a brand. They sold a vision of what sports could be. Their messaging wasn't heavy-handed. It didn't have to be. Just seeing Clark at the intersection of basketball and golf said everything. It screamed, look at what's possible when you let athletes shine. The WNBA, too, saw this as more than a branding exercise. For a league that spent decades fighting for its share of the spotlight, Clark's crossover into golf represented something symbolic. Her popularity was a sign of progress, proof that a WNBA star, current or future, could transcend the confines of a single sport and captivate audiences across the spectrum. They celebrated Clark's appearance with the same fervor as Nike, albeit with a different message. Theirs wasn't about innovation or marketing. It was about validation. Clark was their torchbearer, and her success was proof that the WNBA is producing athletes worthy of attention far beyond the hardwood. The event itself was a spectacle. Clark didn't just walk onto the course. She arrived with the kind of magnetism that draws both cameras and fans like moths to a flame. She smiled and waved, exuding a blend of humility and confidence that felt effortless. Golfers, many of whom are legends in their own right, couldn't help but glance her way, some with curiosity, others with admiration. It wasn't every day that a basketball star infiltrated their domain and made it look so seamless. There was humor in the day's proceedings, too. Watching Clark navigate a golf cart was almost too fitting for someone so accustomed to the fast breaks and quick cuts of basketball. Her drives off the tee were met with cheers, regardless of accuracy. At one point, she quipped that her putter felt more like a prop than a tool, a nod to her relative inexperience on the course. The crowd ate it up, and in those moments, Clark was more than an athlete. She was a performer, a connector, someone who understood the power of presence. The ripple effect of Caitlin Clark's crossover moment extends far beyond her appearance on the LPGA stage. It challenges traditional notions of sports silos, where athletes are expected to thrive in a single domain and stay in their lane. By stepping into the golf world, Clark did something larger than herself. She blurred the boundaries between sports and culture. She didn't need to prove her skills with a flawless round of golf. Her mere presence demonstrated that athletes today are as much cultural icons as they are competitors. Fans don't just follow Caitlin Clark for her basketball heroics. They follow her because she represents ambition, fearlessness, and the joy of doing something unexpected. For the LPGA, this was an opportunity to ride the momentum of Clark's massive popularity and invite a new audience into their fold. Golf has long been viewed as a sport steeped in tradition, sometimes to a fault. It's not exactly the first thing that comes to mind when you think of youthful exuberance or crossover appeal. But by embracing Clark, the LPGA sent a powerful message. They're not afraid to shake things up. They recognize that her charisma could cut through the sometimes staid atmosphere of golf and infuse it with a fresh energy that attracts younger fans and casual observers. It's a calculated risk, but one that could pay off by broadening their reach in ways previously unimaginable. The humor and humanity Clark brought to the day were also critical in making the event resonate. She wasn't there to act like an expert golfer. She was there to be herself, someone who is unapologetically competitive yet relatable. Fans loved seeing her approach golf with the same fiery determination that defines her basketball career. But they also enjoyed her willingness to laugh at her missteps. Whether it was a stray shot or a self-deprecating comment about her putting skills, Clark's authenticity made her feel approachable. It's a quality that transcends sports and makes her a natural ambassador for any event or brand lucky enough to be associated with her. Nike's role in amplifying this moment can't be understated. Their genius lies in their ability to connect stories and create conversations. By weaving Clark into the LPGA narrative, they didn't just promote her as an athlete, they positioned her as a force of nature, someone who refuses to be boxed in. It's marketing with a purpose designed to spark curiosity and conversation. What makes Nike particularly effective here is their understanding that athletes like Clark represent more than just their sport. They represent a mindset, a way of thinking that resonates with fans across demographics. For the WNBA, the collaboration was equally impactful. Women's basketball has been steadily gaining traction, but moments like this accelerate its growth by showcasing the league's athletes as transcendent stars. Clark's golf outing wasn't a departure from her basketball identity. It was an extension of it. It reinforced the idea that WNBA players are global icons, capable of shining brightly in any arena they enter. For the league, this is invaluable. It's not just about the games played on the court. It's about building a legacy that inspires the next generation. As Caitlin Clark wrapped up her time on the course, the buzz she left behind lingered. Fans, athletes, and commentators alike couldn't stop talking about what they had just witnessed, not because of any earth-shattering golf performance, but because of what her presence symbolized. It was a glimpse into a future where the walls between sports aren't just lowered, but dismantled entirely. A future where an athlete like Clark isn't confined by the expectations of a single discipline, but celebrated for embodying the essence of competition, entertainment, and humanity. This event, with all its carefully orchestrated chaos and unplanned magic, is likely to be remembered as a defining moment. It wasn't about perfection or polish. It was about energy, vision, and possibility. Caitlin Clark didn't just make an appearance, she made a statement, one that echoed across the LPGA, the WNBA, Nike, and beyond. And in doing so, she reminded everyone watching that sports are not just about scores and stats. They're about stories that connect us, inspire us, and push us to imagine what else might be possible. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.